there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of May I Scraplift You. Today I am scrap lifting Pink Crafty Mama. And I chose this layout because it has so many layers and I really love layering. And I don't do it all the time, but it is one of the things that I really do enjoy doing a lot. So I'm starting out with this like navy blue paper. I think it is, I want to say it's a Dear Lizzie paper. It's out of a paper pad. I do know that. And I've had it in my stash for ages. And so I thought I would start with that. And then I went with this ledger paper because she's got a ledger style paper in her background. And, ledgers make it really easy to layer things on and line things up. So I thought I'd go ahead and just use that ledger paper. And I liked the pink. And I knew I wanted to use the navy blue because the photo has a lot of navy blue in it. And it's just a picture of the little nook that is Noah's little space in our RV. So I decided to go ahead and frame the paper with the navy blue and give it quite a large border, just like she did. I don't normally do a large border like that, so I definitely was taking inspiration from her layout because that's not something that I regularly do. And then I pulled a bunch of papers that I thought would work for layering. I did pull some papers from my scrap bin, but then I did also pull a few papers that were not from the scrap bin. They were just some full-size 12 by 12 sheets. And I think some of these papers are from Paige Evans, Bungalow Lane, and maybe some from Jen Hadfield's Peaceful Heart. I'm not 100% sure which ones are which, but that is where those papers would have come from. I am inking up all of the little edges with Black Soot Distress ink because it gives a lot more definition between the layers, and I find that it really kind of helps define everything, and I like that. So I don't want my layers to necessarily go completely 100% around my photo. I want them to kind of like look like they were from the scrap bin, basically. So I'm not making them go 100% around. I don't want them to look like a full sheet. And I'm kind of going back and forth as to where, which side the layer sticks out on. And I'm liking the way that it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and get those put away and then just continue to work on, oh, looks like I'm going to add a little bit more layering here, but I'm going to also work on the layers that go right above that, because not only does she have a lot of layers behind her photo, and granted her layers are a little bit larger, and her photos are, she has two photos and they're slightly off kilter. I am just doing the one photo, so everything's a lot more squared off because of that, but that's okay. It's still kind of the same idea, generally speaking, but she's got all these layers above the photo too. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I captured that as well and pull in lots of different, I don't want to say labels because they're not necessarily labels, but lots of different pieces of ephemera that would create that kind of layered sensation right above the photo. And I'm liking the way that it's coming together so far. And I don't mind the tone-on-tone type of look with that piece that says Grown with Love right on top of the ledger paper that is like the same color. Once it's inked up, it doesn't really matter. I also decided I was going to go in and distress things, so that gives actual like more texture to the layout, and you can see those layers a lot more. And if you follow my channel, you might know that distressing things is not my favorite thing to do. I find it very tedious, but in the long run, it is definitely worth it in many cases. So, taking the time to do it, even if it's not your favorite thing, definitely can make a large impact on your layout. So you might want to consider that when you're deciding whether or not you want to do something. Is the impact going to be worth it? And in this case, it definitely is. I'm even distressing those rounded off edges of that tag. And the tags that I'm using are from Rosie's Studio. And I don't know where I got those. They've been in my stash for a little while. And so I'm trying to work through them here and there as much as I can. I don't tend to use tags a lot unless my layout has a lot of tags on it. So I even went back here and I am distressing a lot of these edges of the papers that are in the layers. And again, that is just going to help all of those layers kind of stand out. So I'm liking the way that that looks. And then, oh, I've also got to go back and distress the edges of the entire background too, because, you know, we can't have just the pieces that are stuck to the front of the layout distressed. We need to have it all look uniform. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do the outside edges as well, just to finish it off. And I don't do a ton of back and forth on that outside paper because it's from a paper pad. It's not like the best quality, so I don't want to rip it or anything. And I think it looks fine. It looks good. It looks like it's torn just like it should be. Not too much, but not too little. And then I'm just going to try and get these tags layered up the way that I had them. The very front piece, it does say cozy and simple. And so I definitely wanted to make sure that that showed. There wasn't a lot of real estate below the word that says simple, so it's barely tucked in there, and that is because I think I used the other half of it for something else. But I definitely wanted to have that cozy simple in there because he's got a simple space and it's very cozy with all of, he's got his mom's Beanie Babies all over his little nook area there, which he loves to play with. And she has stored those Beanie Babies for many, many years, and they were well loved when she was little, but he loves them just as much as she did. So, yeah, they're no tags, and they are not, you know, they're not like collector quality at this point, but that's okay. So then I pulled several of the papers that I used to create the layers around my photo, and I am creating this element up in the upper right hand corner with a whole bunch more layers, just like she's got in her layout, and I really like the way that that looks. And so I'm going to go and distress all of those edges again, and to keep with the same look as everything else down below. So I'm just kind of playing with the placement of them. I'm also trying to think about where I want my title, because she's got her title in the upper right hand corner. I'm just kind of like making sure that I'm going to have room for the title that I want to use, and thinking about that as I play with what layer is on top versus what is down below. So my title is going to be Noah's Nook, and I'm going to make the word Nook out of that same blue as the background, the very bottom sheet of the paper or of the layout. And it is going to be popped up onto some white foam. So I basically just took that pattern paper and put it on top of the fun foam on the adhesive side, so that the pattern paper sticks to the adhesive, and then I run it through my machine, and then I will use liquid glue to adhere it down. And I was going to punch or die cut out the word Noah's, but then I thought, you know what, I have those little tiny foam alphas from Paige Evans in navy blue, and so that's what I'm going to use for his name. I kind of abandoned the idea of die cutting his name because I had those navy blue thickers, and I didn't feel like I needed to make it match exactly. So I think it works. So before I adhere everything up in that upper right hand corner, I wanted to make sure I had plenty of room for the word Nook, which is the bigger of the two words. And so that's why I'm creating the title before I go ahead and affix it to the upper right hand corner, because I'm going to trim a bunch of it off on the right hand side. So I don't always create my layouts like this where the entire piece is separate. Like normally the photo's down and then I tuck things in around it. But in this case, because of all of those layers, it is definitely easier to do it this way. So then I went and I found a few different stickers in the Paige Evans Bungalow Lane sticker book, or sticker, yeah, I guess it's a sticker book. I found this little one that says comfortable, and I thought that was really cute, so I put it right above where it says cozy and simple. And I thought that was perfect because it is not only cozy and simple, it is comfortable. And he's got some really soft, I don't think they're flannel, and I don't think they're fleece, but there's something in between type of blankets that he loves to lay on. They're really super snuggly. And then because I have so many rectangular and square elements, I decided to pull in some circular stickers to kind of soften things up just a tad. And she's got some circular elements as well, or some softer elements tucked in to her layout. So I thought that worked perfectly. And then she also has some splatter and some stamping. She's got some butterfly stamps going up the left-hand side there. And I decided to use clouds because I don't know why. Honestly, I guess I was thinking nighttime and sleeping, and so I was thinking of the sky and clouds. So that's what I decided to go with. These three little cloud stamps come from Lawn Fawn, and it is their plain and simple stamp set, and it's pretty old. So I don't even know if it is available any longer, but if it is, it's from 2018. So I will put a link down below if I can find it. Also, those three little tiny heart stamps, they come as one piece, and so those are also from the same stamp set, and same with this little singular heart that is a solid heart, that they're all from the same stamp set. So I thought it looked really cute, and I'm really happy with the way that that turned out. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of ink to it. She does have some splatter going on in hers, and so I think I will go ahead and do that as well, if I remember correctly. Oh, I definitely do need to put some string into the holes of my tags, and I chose to just use a tan and white baker's twine, kind of keeping it a little more neutral. The blue and white baker's twine that I had was not the right shade of blue. It was more like an aqua or turquoise, and so it just did not look right. And then the other blue one I had kind of leaned more towards the periwinkle side, so that is why I went with just kind of a neutral look. And I'm pretty happy with the way that that looks also. I don't think, I think it's neutral enough that it doesn't like stand out and look funky. And then here I am with my black marble distress ink, just finishing off the entire layout. I will add some journaling at some point, but I don't do that on camera. I think I'm going to have quite a bit of journaling for this one, and so I'll do that off camera. And then I'm going to finish it off with some navy blue enamel dots from Gina Marie Designs. I'll put a link down below for that website as well if you're interested in that. I really do love the enamel dots that she has. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, please leave those down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching and taking time to spend with me today. If you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. And I will be back again tomorrow with another layout. Thanks again. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.